Boker Tov, good morning on this beautiful Tuesday morning. Wonderful to be here together with you on this day. And I hope that the day ahead of you is a good one so that each and every day can be one of meaning and growth and significance. So to one, to all, Boker Tov, welcome to Boker Tov from Temple Sinai. Temple Sinai Congregation of Toronto's daily opportunity to connect, to reflect, and to remember. Good morning to all. Good morning to Joni and Sandra and Lori and Sean, to Deborah and Alan, and to Annette and Gloria and Eleanor. It is wonderful to be here with you this morning. And Heather, glad you're here as well. And let us begin, as we do each day, with a prayer of gratitude for beginning the day, that the wonder of the physical workings of ourselves. Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yatzar et ha'adam bechokma uברא nekavim nekavim chalulim chalulim galui וידוע לפני כיסא כבודך שאם ייפתח אחד מהם או יסתם אחד מהם אי אפשר להתקיים ולעמוד לפניך. ברוך אתה אדוני רופא כל בשר ומפליא לעשות. Blessed eternal God, creator of the universe, you have fashioned our bodies with wisdom, creating within us a finely balanced network. To stand before you in prayer is itself a fragile miracle. Eternal God, we praise you as the healer of body and spirit. And let's continue with our prayer for the soul, for that beautiful soul within. The soul that you have given me, O God, is a pure one. You have created and formed it, breathed it into me, and within me you sustain it. So long as my soul is within me, I will give thanks to you, eternal my God and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. We praise you, eternal God, in whose hand is the power of all life and the spirit of all flesh. I referred to the soul as the soul within, and it does say, so long as my soul is within me. But among the Jewish beliefs about the soul is not that it's only in us, but while it's simultaneously in us, it connects us. It's in the presence of God at the very same time. That the world of the spirit is not like the physical world, and we are connected to it in a very meaningful way if we allow it to be present to us. One of the ways that happens is through encountering Torah, and not studying, but learning, but experiencing and growing and sharing it with others. So let us reaffirm our commitment to doing just that with the traditional morning blessing for learning. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו לעסוק בדברי תורה. וערב נא אדוני אלוהינו את דברי תורתך בפינו ובפי עמך בית ישראל, ונהיה אנחנו וצאצאינו וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל, כולנו יודעי שמך ולומדי תורתך לשמה. ברוך אתה אדוני המלמד תורה לעמו ישראל. אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור. These are the obligations whose value cannot be measured. They nourish us in this world and help us to create the world to come. Kibud Avayim, to honor fathers and mothers. Ugmilut Chasadim, to perform acts of love and kindness. Vashkamat Bet Midrash Shacharit V'Yarvit, to attend the house of study morning and evening. Vachnasat Ochim, to welcome the stranger. Ubikur Cholim, to visit the sick. Vahachnasat Kala, to provide for brides and grooms. Ulvayat Hamet, to keep faith with the dead. Viyun Tfilah, to pray with sincerity. Vahava'at Shalom Ben Adam Chavero, to make peace when there is strife. V'Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam, and the study of Torah is equal to them all. But sometimes there are choices that have to be made in translation that limit meaning. This last line, the learning of Torah, is equal to them all, doesn't always feel right in the sense that how could learning about something be equal to doing? But the word keneged, which is translated here as equal, literally means is as opposite to them all. So if we put it on a scale, that would mean it's equal to them. But it also means in our tradition that the purpose of learning is for it to stand opposite us like a mirror, not like a scale, and allow us to see our actions for what they are, to see the profound meaning in them, sometimes some things that seem quite mundane, and at the same time, to see when we're off the path, even as something we're very accustomed to doing. So, in that sense, the learning of Torah does stand opposite all of the actions that we choose. Let's join together in our Birchot HaShachar on morning blessings so that we'll have recited 18 Chai Borachot before reciting Shema Yisrael. Let's recite the first one in Hebrew, the second half Hebrew, half English, and we'll alternate, although the blessing for releasing the captives as the body of Ram Gvili continues to be held in Gaza. We will say that prayer in both ways, standing in solidarity with his family and praying that that phase of this awful time between Gaza and Israel might be concluded. Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lasechvi vina, להבחין ben yom uven laila. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, you have created me in the divine image. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani ben chorin. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you have made me a Jew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asali kol tzorki. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you open the eyes of the blind. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you release those who are held captive. And again, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim, Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you maintain the balance of land and sea. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, amechin mitzadei gavel. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you surround Israel with strength. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tifara. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you give strength to the weary. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ma'avir shena me'enai, utnuma me'afapai. And having prepared with brachot this morning, we now continue, even though I have trouble getting to the right page this morning, with the words of Shema Yisrael. These words that unite us with our people everywhere and with humanity everywhere who lives a life of love and human values. Please join me in this affirmation of the oneness of the universe of God, of possibility. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, ויעשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית בכנף פתיל תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית, וראיתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם, ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. Well, now that we have recited Shema together, we continue, this being a Tuesday, by sharing some of the words of writer and poet Rich Orloff. His insights give us an opportunity to find the holy in what might otherwise seem to be ordinary. The word ordinary is a complex word, and I think for that reason, ordinary or unimportant is a phrase that he chose for today's poem. I'm going to do as I do with Rich's poems in general when we encounter them. I'm going to share the poem and then share a few thoughts on the poem itself and then share it one more time. The poem that I want to share of his this morning is called In Praise of Unimportant Lives. When people think of the greats, I doubt they think of Shakespeare's barber, although I'm sure he lifted Shakespeare's spirits, especially after a good haircut. When people think of the greats, I doubt they think of Sally Barton Vassell, who wrote encouraging letters to her sister Clara, Civil War nurse and founder of the American Red Cross. When people think of the greats, I doubt they think of Jack Grabo, who wanted to be a doctor, but who ended up selling women's shoes, who loved the outdoors, but who worked in a mall, who hoped for a son, but was a loving dad to 3 daughters, and who one Sunday morning many years ago, wishing to lift the spirits of a sad young nephew, offered to make him a special omelet whose recipe came from an exotic country that the nephew suspected was a made-up name. Sunday after Sunday, when the uncle visited, he cooked more omelets for his nephew, each from a different country with a strange-sounding name, each with its own exotic recipe. And although the omelets all tasted fairly similar, the nephew took joy in the attention he got week after week after week. So the next time you hear a name you don't recognize, and who few people ever will, know that they may have contributed something to this world, even if just a good haircut, or supportive letters, or omelets that brightened a young boy's life. I think it's a very touching poem. I find it so, as so much attention in the world goes to those who are quote unquote important, or to use a current word, influencers, who in obvious ways get a lot of attention, sometimes deserving a lot of attention. But our life is mainly made up of moments that are day to day, but in no way unimportant. That it's amazing how someone who takes the time to act toward us in a loving way uh, can help us experience our place as a little more interesting and exotic, as if we go somewhere different while someone in our life is taking the time to care about us and care for us and love us. And even those who care for others or create for others um, need and deserve that kind of day-to-day support. And so these lives, I think it was firmly tongue-in-cheek, the name that Rich chose, are in no way unimportant. but they're simply less known. So let's think of those in our life who may have provided something beautiful for us in a day-to-day sort of way, in praise of unimportant lives. When people think of the greats, I doubt they think of Shakespeare's barber, although I'm sure he lifted Shakespeare's spirits, especially after a good haircut. When people think of the greats, I doubt they think of Sally Barton Vassell, who wrote encouraging letters to her sister Clara, Civil War nurse and founder of the American Red Cross. When people think of the greats, I doubt they think of Jack Grabo, who wanted to be a doctor, but ended up selling women's shoes, who loved the outdoors, but who worked in a mall, who hoped for a son, but was a loving dad to 3 daughters, and who, one Sunday morning many years ago, wishing to lift the spirits of a sad young nephew, offered to make him a special omelet whose recipe came from an exotic country that the nephew suspected was a made-up name. Sunday after Sunday, when the uncle visited, he cooked more omelets for his nephew, each from a different country with a strange-sounding name, each with its own exotic recipe. And although the omelets all tasted fairly similar, the nephew took joy in the attention he got week after week after week. So the next time you hear a name you don't recognize, and a few people ever will, know that they may have contributed something to this world, even if just a good haircut or supportive letters or omelets that brighten a young boy's life. There are many different ways to make a difference, and I hope that we can let others know that all of them are significant. And I hope we let others who are a part of our lives know how much they mean to us sometimes. When things are difficult, we need others around us. And the prayer, Achenu, um, is a prayer that acknowledges the way in which the people of Israel are intended to be there for one another. So whether the family of the remaining hostage body being held or those directly affected by the synagogue arson in Jackson, Mississippi, um, or all those who are facing difficulty, we stand with you and they stand with us. Let's join in this prayer affirming that. Achenu kol bet Yisrael achiotenu, kol bet Yisrael, הנתונים בצרה ובשביה, העומדים בין בים ובין ביבשה. המקום ירחם עליהם ויוציאם מצרה לרווחה, ומאפלה לאורה, ומשעבוד לגאולה, השתה בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ונאמר, Amen. Our brothers and sisters, the whole family of Israel, who are in difficulty or captivity, whether on land or at sea, may the ever-present one have mercy on them, bringing them out from distress to comfort and from darkness to light, from subjugation to redemption, now, quickly and soon. And we say together, Amen. Well, there are many different things we might do that might seem extraordinary to others, but might have to do them in a mundane way, such as those who stand on guard for us, whether the soldiers of the IDF or those closer to us who put their own lives on the line to make our lives safer. For each of them and all of them, and especially for those who wear the uniform and try to keep the Jewish people's state and all Jewish people that much safer, we turn to these words of prayer. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב ואמותינו שרה רבקה לאה ורחל הוא יברך את חיילי צבא ההגנה לישראל ושאר מגיני עמנו העומדים על משמרתם. ישמרם הקדוש ברוך הוא ויצילם מכל צרה וצוקה ומכל נגע ומחלה וישלח ברכה בכל מעשה ידיהם ויקוים בהם הכתוב וכיתתו חרבותיהם לעתים וחניתותיהם למזמרות לא יישאו גוי גוי חרב ולא ילמדון עוד מלחמה וישבו איש תחת גפנו ותחת תאנתו ואין מחריד ונאמר אמן. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless the soldiers of the IDF and all who stand on guard for us. May the Holy One guard them against all difficulty and distress, injury and illness. May all of their actions bring blessing, fulfilling the prophet's words. Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Let nation not lift up sword against nation, and may they learn war no more. May all sit under a vine or fig tree, with none to make them afraid, and together we say, Amen. Let's continue with our prayer for those in need of strength and healing. And so, for all those in our circle of family and friends who are in need of healing, or for all those who might be injured or unwell or isolated, for each of them, for all of them, we turn to these words. And may we do so not only with a full heart, but with a commitment to reach out to them to do what we can to make their unchosen load a little lighter. For those names given to me and given to Temple, those names added to the chat in this and other services, we join in these words of refuah. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, ואמותינו שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל, הוא ירפא את כל מכותינו. יהי רצון מלפניך, אדוני אלוהינו, להחלימם ולרפאותם. ישלח לנו מהרה רפואה שלמה ועטרת שלום, ונאמר, Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless and heal all who suffer. May it be the divine will to provide healing and strength, reveal to us the holiness of life, the wholeness of shalom, and let us say together, Amen. Well, it's extremely meaningful to me to start each day together here with you to connect and to reflect, as well as to remember, to recall those who died in recent days and weeks, those who died at this season and years past, and those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. During the period of the past 30 days, we extend our condolences to the families of Shayla Cole, Sadie Chaffetz, Larry Marr, Irving Starr, Joel Rutenberg, Fran Michaels, Philip Boulanger. We also remember all victims of war and terror, including the victims of the Bondi Beach terror attack 30 days ago. Matilda Britvan, Edith Brutman, Dan L. Kayam, Boris Gurman, Sophia Gurman, Alexander Kleitman, Rabbi Yaakov Levitan, Peter Meager, Reuven Morrison, Marika Pogani, Rabbi Eli Schlonger, Adam Smith, Boris Tetleroyd, Tanya Tretiak, Tibor Waitzen. And on Yahrzeit, on the anniversary of their deaths, on this 24th day of the month of Tevet, the 13th of January, 2026, we honor our life and legacy, the life and legacy on Yahrzeit of Samuel Barlin, Jill Charco, John Coleman, Mo Fishman, Annette Goldman, Gertrude Goodman, Ann Kligman, Mo Kuczynski, Rose Linger Levin, May List, Erna Josie Peretz, Ann Richardson, David Sefton, Ann Schulman, Leslie Otto Schwemar, Dave Silverman, Myrna Zeidenberg. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be a blessing to us. Our griefs and our sympathies are mingled as we turn together to words sanctified by memory, words glorified by hope. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemeh rabba, ve'alma divrach cheruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chaye dechol bet Yisrael, v'agalah v'zman kareh v'imru, Amen. Yehe shmeh rabba mevorach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitrumam v'yitnaseh. ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בורכו לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn, and bring comfort and strength to all who remember, and together we say, Amen. Well, Temple is grateful for the support we receive for our ongoing work. A contribution's been made to the annual Tzedakah campaign by Tammy Kligman, observing Yahrzeit for Anne Kligman. I wish everyone a meaningful and good day. Let's join together again here tomorrow. Boker Tov.